Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of the Power of Your Mind podcast. You are listening to episode number 198, and I'm Victoria Gallagher. I'm the Law of Attraction Hypnotist and #1 best-selling author of Practical Law of Attraction, Align Yourself with the Manifesting Conditions and Successfully Attract Your Desires. And I'm also the founder of HipTalk.com and HypnoCloud apps, which gives you access to over 500 hypnosis recordings right in the palm of your hand. So be sure to download that app from the app stores today. And today, before we dive into today's topic, we are trying something new out here at the Power of Your Mind podcast. I've invited my friend, my colleague, comedy hypnotist, that's a new word, hypnotist, Jim Kellner, to be my co-host for at least a few episodes, maybe more, who knows? We will just see how it goes. And so Jim is just gonna take it from here for a moment and just introduce himself and talk a little bit. We were talking earlier, just right before the show started, and he's like, why did why'd you pick me for this role? And I just kind of, I'm like, well, I haven't really figured out 100% my why, but Jim and I, I've been interviewed on his show a few times. We've met each other a lot at conferences. We always have the best conversations. I feel, we've got like really great rapport. I think we play off of each other well. Jim brings the fun, the funny, he's the comedy hypnotist. I'm the serious hypnotist. I mean, not that, you're not a serious person too. But, and not that I'm not a funny person, but, that's more your forte. And so, I just kind of thought I'd bounce the question right back to you, put you on the spot and ask you, like, why did you volunteer to want to possibly take on this role as my co-host?
Whoa. Wow. Okay. Great question. First of all, you said something important in the beginning. You said for at least a few episodes. So what is the hotline number for people to call in to vote for Jim to come back? We have that set up yet?
See, he's already proving. Absolutely. No, they can definitely send us an email, go to hiptalk.com or go somewhere, go to Victoria M. Gallagher and send me an email. Let me know that you'd like to vote for Jim.
Keep Jim. All right.
Jim.
So yeah, why? That's a really great question. I remember you posted on Facebook something about it, and I was just like, oh, that would be so much fun. And I sort of get what you mean, because when I do my podcast, I've done solo episodes, and it's not. I think there's room for that, but I love watching those ones where you have a couple of people kind of going back and forth with ideas. And like you said, I mean, we've had great rapport. You've been on my show, I've been on your show. You're one of my favorite people, and really, I consider a mentor. And so if I can be in some way associated with Victoria Gallagher and your work, I mean, you're talking about your book. I've got it right here with Richard's book, and all these. I've got your app right here. It was actually.
I get so excited when people show me my app.
Yeah. I tell you, so I got to tell you, so if you're out there and you haven't listened to this app, you got to download the app, because I'll tell you, two of my favorites are You Deserve Success and Law of Attraction Mastery.
Yes. And actually, those are two of the free ones that come
free. I mean,
unlocked with the app.
There's a ton of free ones on there, and I'm not getting paid for this sponsorship. So stress relief. Oh, release financial worries. I missed that one. I got to get on that one now.
I think everyone needs to get on that one.
Yeah, right. And so I'm already a big fan of Victoria Gallagher, and I use the stuff. In fact, it's funny when you mentioned the app, I was like, oh, I should show that. And then I don't know if people heard it, but I actually played the music that comes on. And I was like, oh shoot, it's playing the music. So anyway, yeah, I just thought it would be fun to team up and see how this works out. And if it's a good fit, then maybe we keep going, or we just have fun for a couple episodes.
Absolutely. Well, I really appreciate it. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun today. And today I thought what I would do is do a demonstration with you of some of the work that we do in my book, in my manifesting challenges, in my in my law of attraction intensive, which is coming up soon here in July. And, just a little sneak peek behind the scenes of, some of, to me, like the most important work, and something I just recently created. This is actually mine, filled out, that I just recently created again. I've done probably since I wrote my book 4 or 5 of my own desire, intention, gratitude statements. Yeah. And every time I do it, and I follow it the way that is designed to be followed, I manifest what I intend to manifest. But the key word is follow it the way that is designed to be followed. And so I want to kind of take you through the process that we go through. Have you, since you're, a fan of the book, since you read the book, be honest, did you do all the exercises in the book?
What's that? I think there's something I have to attend to.
Right? See, and this is why, because the book is amazing. The book,
Yeah.
You honestly, I'm just going to be straight with you guys. Like, you don't need me. You don't need my class. You don't need my recordings. All you need is a book. That's really, really all you need. The book will, if you do the book, but see, that's the thing, is like thousands of people buy the book, but then, they don't necessarily go through and do all of the assignments. So that's why there's courses. That's why there's the different levels of, participating. Cause like, what happens, Jim, like when, and this happens with me. I mean, like, I have so many books on my bookshelf that I've read, or in my Kindle or whatever. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get started on that eventually. That's going to work, but why do you think that happens, for us?
And it's such a great thing, because here's the thing. Knowledge without action is damn near worthless, really. And that's what it comes down to. And so as far as the why part, I don't know, laziness, moving on to the next thing, and you can see, I mean, I've got a bunch of like these yellow stickies, marked a bunch
Those
of pages.
Those are pink, I think.
Yeah, they are. They're pink, because I'm man enough for pink, people. That's right. Keep Jim, 1-800-KEEP-JIM. Yeah, it's funny too, you mentioned that, because I've got Maxwell Marx's book here, Psycho-Cybernetics.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
I mean, I read this book 20 years ago, didn't do a damn thing with it. Really, I didn't do anything. And there's so much good information. So finally, about a year ago, I actually started doing some of the exercises in here. And one of the most basic things I started doing was just sitting and visualizing what I want.
Oh,
things are happening, people. Things are happening. And that's just that one little thing. And so why don't we do it? I really do think, I feel like I've got the information, now I need to move on to the next thing. Whereas, like you said, I mean, you really got to do the work. You got to go through it. I mean, and it's all written out here. All you have to do is just write a few things. It's kind of silly not to.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. It really is. It really is. But we all, we all do it. I mean, it took me a while. I've written my desire, intention, gratitude statement, and that's the first part. But saying it is another thing, because I also suggest that you actually read it in a very specific way every day, 10 times a day. That's only going to take you 10 minutes. And the thing is that when you do this, because I've done this when I did it on becoming a #1 bestseller, and it worked. I did it on filling a manifesting challenge, and it worked. I did it on filling a class for last year's Law of Attraction Intensive, and it worked. I did it on doubling the subscribers in my app, and it worked. And then I did it recently on finding my dream development team, and it worked. And
Nice.
so now I'm doing it on, that my dream development team is going to create this amazing next level of my app. And so I know it'll work, but I need to actually do it, and some days you just don't feel like saying it. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, so there's just some days you just want to be in a funk. And half the reason I think why people don't manifest what they want is because they just let themselves stay. It's easy to stay in that funk, right?
It is. Yeah. Because, it's like, I mean, it comes down to physics too, right? What is it? A body in motion will stay in motion, and a body at rest will stay at rest until it's acted upon by something else. It's just much easier but the reverse is true too. When you start actually moving and doing stuff, for your life, whatever it is, whether it's actual movement, walking or running or something, or taking action on these things, it does the same thing. It comes together.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
I think, and the one thing too that I would say is that if you're out there, and this has been your issue too, I forget. I honestly forget, and so I have to, for things like this, I actually need to put it on my goal list for the day, and I have like a whole list, my habit tracker, and so that's what I need to do. And I just realized that I need to put it on there because I don't know, for some reason we just forget these kind of things sometimes.
It's really easy to get kind of just caught up in all the inertia of our daily life, or taking too long on to do one thing and just kind of running out of time. That's sort of what happened. I feel like I run out of time, or and like you said, sometimes it's easy just to forget. So you got to put it in your calendar.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, well, like for the purpose of today's episode, do you have any goals that you want to share with us that you want to use for this desire, intention, and gratitude statement?
1-800-KEEP-JIM.
I love it.
Actually, that's not the real number. So if you're calling that number, you're probably upsetting someone.
Who knows what you're going to get? Disclaimer.
I gotta see if that number is available now.
Right.
Wouldn't it be a great one to send out to clients and stuff?
That really would be Keep Jim.
1-800-KEEP-JIM.
Or hire Jim.
Right. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Oh yeah, that wouldn't be enough letters. Okay. Yeah. Either way. Yeah. So yeah, it's, I think something for me would be to move someplace warm. That's been my goal since I met my wife and got stuck in Seattle. Not stuck with her, stuck in Seattle. We'll say it like that. Yeah.
That's a good distinction to make.
I'm pleased to be with you, honey. Really. If you're watching.
Yes. She's a keeper. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah. Thanks.
So, but you're feeling stuck in Seattle. That's the
yeah, and
the
I mean,
deal.
it was good reason for it. It was good reason. My stepdaughter is in college, and so but she graduated this year, and everybody has decided that we do want to move someplace warmer. Mm-hmm. And as you know, I was in Phoenix for a few years.
Yeah,
and then I sort of got
You're
stuck
welcome
here.
to come back anytime.
Yeah,
we'll still have you.
I want to. She's coming down. They're coming down in the middle of April to find out what Arizona is really like, because all I think it is just desert.
Yeah.
Well, there's nice stuff in the desert too. But
absolutely.
Anyway,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's really, I would say that's one of my overriding goals. And it doesn't have, I mean, I like Phoenix for a lot of reasons, but they really want to go to San Diego, which I'd be fine with that too. Mm-hmm. So just someplace warm.
Someplace warm. Okay. So the goal is to move someplace warm.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a really good starting point. So let's talk about, so here's how we actually start with the creating the desire intention. And it's a little counterintuitive to what most people might think. What we do is we actually we take 5 minutes, and we take 5 minutes to complain. It's called the complaint game, and it's actually really fun. So we break down into partners, and so
sounds fun. Yeah,
it actually is. I mean, because people love to complain, right? And if you could just complain all day and still get get what you want, then life would be great. Because, we love to just talk about how bad it is. It's much easier actually to talk about what's not working or what's getting in your way or all the frustrations. But through this process, through this magical process, we actually do discover what you prefer instead. So let's kind of talk about, I would say, what all the things are that's like getting in the way of having, that happen. Like right now, how would you, and I'm going to go ahead and set my timer for 5 minutes.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do as the person who's like kind of helping your partner, your support person, I'm going to just keep you going. I'm just going to be saying, okay, what else don't you like? What else do you, do you have a problem with? And I'm just going to keep you going, and I'm going to keep track, and I'm going to be the one that's going to scribe everything that you say. So you don't have to write anything down.
All right.
You can like relax, and you just get to complain for 5 minutes. And then we'll take it to the next step. So are you ready to complain?
Oh, I'm so ready. I'm so ready.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to start the timer now. Okay. And now begin.
So so I'd be complaining about where I'm at right now.
Yeah. Or
like how
exactly.
things are going. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's cold. It's rainy. I don't like it. Done. It's unreasonably expensive. It's when I've always thought of San Diego as very expensive, but at this point it would be a lateral move. And it's kind of interesting that a beautiful, sunny, warm place like San Diego, it costs the same amount, or it costs the same amount here in this. And granted, a lot of people do love the rain. They love all that, and God bless them. So it's they need help. But so there's the I don't like the rain. I don't like the cost of living for what you get. I get no sunny weather for the expense. I don't know. Kind of feel a little bit trapped in Seattle. Really want to escape. So I love when I do a show in Arizona. So I get to go down there. I don't get to do enough.
Okay. What else?
It snowed, and I do not like snow unless I'm just looking at it from like a cabin window and I don't have to go out in it. I slipped and fell and hit my head twice last winter. That was no fun. And it's just that, there's just this, the other thing this is something that just occurred to me, like this feeling I don't like is, so I have to wear a coat that sort of protects from the rain, but then that traps all the sweat in. And so it's like you're just walking around moist all the time. Might as well live in Florida, I guess, where it's humid. So I just realized I don't like that feeling of that. And it just goes on for days and days and days. And it's not a deluge like you have in Arizona, where it's just like the wrath of God rain for like 20 minutes and then it's gone. It's just a trickling day after day. It's like the Chinese water torture, just drop by drop by drop. Traffic is awful, absolutely awful. Another one where you think like Southern California traffic is bad, but having driven in both, I would say Seattle is maybe they're a little bit more polite, but other than that, just as bad.
So traffic is awful. Chinese water torture. I'm getting a lot of good complaints here. Good. What else don't you like? And what don't you like about like not even feeling like you are able to just go right now?
Well, so this is the first time. I've never been married before. I've had long-term relationships, but never been married. And always in the past, it's been a situation where if I pretty much do whatever I want, whenever I want. Mm-hmm. And now I have to like consider other people's goals and thoughts and their issues and things like that. And so it's a little bit challenging for me to adjust to that.
Mm-hmm.
So that would definitely be a complaint. I think that's part of the feeling trapped. It's not just my choice.
Right. So it's challenging to adjust to it not being 100% in your control or your choice.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We got about 1 minute left.
Okay. This is harder than I thought it would be.
Actually, you know what? It's harder for you. I think because you're just, you tend to be more positive, but sometimes people can get stuck in this complaint game for like, I have to like rein everybody back in. It's like, okay, everybody stop complaining. So, but you've got some good ones here. So why don't we just go ahead and, unless there's like any more burners that just come to your mind right now, we'll go ahead and complete that phase of the assignment.
One of the other things I really don't like about the weather, and I hate to blame, so that's a problem, is I don't want to blame other things for my choices, but I will say that when I'm in Arizona, I can go walk or run for a long time and I love it. And here, like when it's drizzly out and rainy and snowy, it just, it really takes a lot more willpower and discipline to go do it.
Okay. It takes more. There we go. There's our timer. All right. So takes more willpower. All right. So here's what we have for your complaints. We have, you mentioned some of these a couple of times, so we'll just kind of keep them at once. It's cold. It's rainy. It's cold. It's rainy. I don't like it. It's expensive. I don't like the cost of living for what you get. I feel trapped in Seattle. I really want to escape. I don't get enough to do enough shows. It snows and I don't like the snow. I slipped and fell and hit my head twice. That's awful. I mean, that's awful.
I could die. I could die.
You could have died. You could have died.
1-800-KEEP-JIM. 1-800-KEEP-JIM.
Right. I wear, have to wear a coat. It traps all the sweat in. I don't like that wet.
Moist. Feels moist.
That moist feeling. That moist feeling throughout the day. Okay. Out the day. It's trying to help me spell this here. Out the day. Okay. It just goes on for days and days. It's like Chinese water torture. Traffic is awful. It's challenging to adjust to not being 100% your choice, not to leave, not to just leave. And when it's drizzling, it takes more willpower to walk and run. So you've got a lot. This is good. I usually look for, good work. I usually look for at least getting 10 out on the table, and you've got more than 10. So it was actually not as hard as it seemed, maybe, or not as easy as not as hard as it seemed.
Right.
All right. So that's phase one. Phase two is what we do next. Now that we have all these complaints here, you're just freely able to get that off your chest. Now what we do is we take each one of these and we convert them into a preference. So what it is that you prefer instead. And there's some certain rules that we follow when it comes to the preferences. Number one is it needs to specifically address that complaint. So we want to definitely make it that, that it answers and acknowledges that complaint. Number two, we want to keep it positive. Like we can't say, it's not cold. Like if we were converting cold, we want to, but we also want to keep it believable. So we don't want to, we don't want to turn it into something that is, that you just can't believe in. So it's positive. It addresses the complaint. It's believable, And we want to keep it like succinct, so it's like a really succinct, believable sentence. And one of the things that we do also when we do the converting into the preferences is to make them more believable. We can use these sentence starters, these bridge statements, and which we'll probably end up doing a lot here, because the whole point of what these preferences are going to be is it's like literally just saying, this is what I prefer. I just prefer this. And when you talk about more often, if you talk about what you prefer, even if it's not like necessarily in your existence yet, you're causing your mind to start to create and think about the possibility of that happening, and you're manifesting it. You're bringing it more into the realm of your awareness. So now, when you're thinking of the positive idea, you're beginning to be creative in manifesting that. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because and then anytime, the other thing too is now anytime you hear yourself saying some of these complaint sentences, you can catch yourself and say, oh, but what I'm creating right now, I'm in the process of creating blah, 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 blah. Right.
Yeah.
So it's cold. How would you like reverse that? How would you convert that into a new sentence?
Like it's warm.
Like it's warm. And so
are we looking for what I actually want, or how I can look at the positive of this situation?
What you prefer. What would you prefer?
Yeah. I would prefer it to be warm.
Mm-hmm. I would prefer it to be warm. And okay, and then rainy. What would you how would you convert that one?
I like it when it's sunny and dry out.
That is so perfect. I like it when that's a model sentence, exactly how you did that.
Awesome.
I like it when it's sunny and warm out. Okay. And then and then just how would you convert I don't like it?
Like it. I did not use not. I prefer other environments.
Ooh, yeah. I prefer, like, what kind of environments?
Warm, sunny, dry.
Warm. I prefer warm, sunny, dry environments. Okay. And it's expensive. How would you convert that?
I want to spend my money living in an area that is worth the cost.
Oh, I love it. I want to spend my money living in an area that is worth the cost. Okay. You're making this way too easy on me.
A student right here.
You are. Okay. And then you know what? I'm going to say that handles the sentence, I don't like the cost of living for what you get.
Yeah.
And then I feel trapped in Seattle. So how would you convert that one?
I enjoy freedom.
Ooh, I enjoy freedom. And how would you convert I really want to escape?
I'm excited for new possibilities in a new environment.
Excited for new possibilities in a new environment. I don't know if you can hear me typing away here.
Yes.
Oh, I don't get to do enough shows.
For that, I don't get to do enough shows in Arizona because that's what gets me down there. So I love doing shows in warm environments.
I love doing shows in warm environments.
And actually, if you're in Wisconsin or something, I still like doing shows there too. Just prefer warm.
I love it. Make sure they know, they know that they're still loved. It snows and I don't like snow.
I enjoy looking at snow on a TV screen.
Yes, I enjoy looking at snow on a TV screen.
I mean,
And
really,
for
it's
that
not
one, I may even like not include that because you're still bringing the idea of
the thing
snow.
that I don't want. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I enjoy not bashing my head on the ground. No, that's wrong. I enjoy nice brown or green ground.
I enjoy nice brown or green ground. Ooh, you are really good. You're like one of my best students so far. Honestly, this is
I
really
read the
good.
book, people. I read the book. I know you don't believe me, people, but I did.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. All right. So I think we get the point now how to, there's a few more here that would be great to convert, but I wanted to really give the audience a good understanding of like, how do we take these complaints and turn them into preferences? So we've got some really good preferences here. Now, the next step, and you don't have the luxury of actually having this sitting in front of you with all these words. But what I would have the student do next, what I would have you do next is I would have you take a look at all of your preferences and getting a call. And I would have you from your preference words, I would actually have you take the ones that just feel the best to you and draw circles around some of those words so that those words actually end up in your desire statement. And your desire statement is step one of this whole desire, intention, and gratitude statement. So you would create a statement that sounds something like, I'm so excited for new possibilities to to create the possibility of living in a warm, sunny, dry environment where I enjoy nice brown, green ground and get to spend my money living in an area that's worth the cost. So you sort of put all that together into like one, paragraph that's like one or two, maybe three sentences long that just feels really good. And then you just continue tweaking that sentence until it feels really, really good for you to say it. So like, how might you state that sentence? How might you say that out loud?
I like what you said. I enjoy living. Now I say it as like the present, like I'm actually doing it now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Or like I'm excited about creating the possibility.
Oh, good. Okay.
Because that's believable and that's true.
Yeah. I'm excited about creating the possibility of living and working in a warm, sunny environment where I will feel more energetic and happier to spend my money in a place that really deserves to have the high cost of living or the cost of living that it has.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And so when I get the show notes made for this, I'll make sure that we give you your desire statement. So like you actually have it. So that would be the first step of this whole desire intention statement. Now, your next step of this, there's three steps. The next step is your intention. So what kind of action step will you be taking toward this? So your intention is all about just like that energy that you're sending out there. It could be something that you do in action. It could be something that you think. It could be like a visualizing exercise. It could just be, talking to your wife every day,
Showing her pictures. Have you
and
seen this
showing her
picture of this?
beautiful
Wow.
scenery of all
The
the
beach
wonderful
nice.
places, whatever it is,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
like, what are a couple of action steps or ways that you can put your intention out there into the universe every day?
Well, it just occurred to me that, I've been thinking about this for a while and I just haven't done it, is like doing a new vision board and putting some pictures of like San Diego, or, I think really the first thing would be to decide, do I have to decide where when I do this thing, like specifically, or can I just say, because I'm not positive on where.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter for now. I think over time you'll narrow it down. It was kind of like when even just living here in Arizona, in Phoenix, we knew we wanted to buy a house. And, as soon as we, got that idea, we wanted to live there, we wanted to live there, we wanted to live there. We had all these different neighborhoods in our mind, and different zip codes. But then, like as the narrowing down took place, on the one hand, it narrows down your choices, but on the other hand, it also just gives you that very specific visual to focus on. So it's a really good way to ultimately laser target. But, I think you can start with the general idea. And then as you get, you'll start to, I think, develop a little bit more of a feeling toward a specific place over time.
So I think like a vision board with like palm trees on it would be the first step.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So you definitely want to have a place that has palm trees.
Yeah.
Now,
Lots of palm trees.
we do have, there are some places that have palm trees in in Phoenix.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I love them. I love palm trees. Wherever
Yeah.
palm trees are is usually a nice place.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think they have many palm trees in Seattle.
Or Wisconsin.
So you'll put together a vision board with palm trees on it, and then every day, like, what will you do with your vision board?
I think just having it there, just sort of like where I would just see it first thing in the morning and then right by my bed, so that I just sort of have to see it and think about it a little bit, even
so
subconsciously.
You'll maybe look at it like once or twice a day, and just allow yourself to think about it and allow those images to get absorbed into your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And then so that's your intention. So you would write on your desire intention statement, I look at my vision board with the palm trees on it twice a day. And so that would be your intention. And then step 3 is your gratitude. And so this is where you come up with 5 things that they have to do with your goal that you're already grateful for.
Okay.
So what would be some way to have some gratitude around that goal that, like, that's already there for you? What's one thing, or 5 things that you might be grateful for?
Can it be that I'm grateful when it's sunny out here in
Yes,
Seattle?
absolutely.
Okay.
I'm grateful
Great.
for the sunny days in Seattle.
On those 3 days a month?
I'm just, you don't even have to say Seattle. You can just say,
Sunny
I'm
days.
grateful for the sunny days I experience now.
Oh, yes. I like that. Oh, yeah.
And are there is there anything else? I usually like to
I'm
come up with like 3 to 5 things.
well, I'm grateful that I get to travel to warm and sunny places. Is that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
helpful? Okay.
Yeah, I'm grateful to travel to sunny places. Uh-huh. What else?
I'm actually, I'm somewhat grateful for where I live. It really feels like I'm living in a sort of just a great big park. It's really beautiful. There's lots of green grass and trees and stuff. So that's nice.
Yeah. And making peace with where you do live right now and accepting it is actually a good part of the process. I had when we were living in our house before we bought the new house, I had this bathroom that had these tiny little drawers in it. And I couldn't fit my hair dryer in there, couldn't fit my straightening iron in there, couldn't fit all my makeup bags and things like that in there. And it just drove me crazy, and I just kept and so like I'd go around the house and it's like, this was wrong with it. This is a place we were renting, before and I was like, God, I can't wait to get out of this place, so
Mhm.
I can't wait to get into my dream home so I could just get away from this place. And what I realized one day, and it was just like, that I needed to like make this place as acceptable. It wasn't a bad place. I mean, it
Mhm.
was, and I just had to like be grateful for all the space that we did have and all the things. And so I decided, like, one of the things I did before we manifested this house, one of the things I did was I organized the bathroom, the cabinets and the drawers, and really just thought about like, well, if we were stuck here for like the next year or two or whatever, how would I manage this? How could I make this more luscious and luxurious?
Mhm.
How could I make it what I really want? And just so I kind of realized, well, my hair dryer doesn't have to go in this drawer. It can go in the cabinet under the drawer. I could just
Mhm.
take 5 seconds to wrap it up and put it under the drawer every day. And then it's going to like be much more reasonable to be able to close this. I don't have to like leave all these things, plugged in and hanging around. I could actually put these things away and make it look nice and neat and tidy. And so I did that. I made it nice and neat and tidy. And within a couple of months of actually going through that process is when we manifested this house. And
Nice.
wouldn't you know it, it was actually good practice because wouldn't you know it, because of the fact that I had all that energy around those stupid little drawers, even though I've got like 1.5 times the space in this house as I had there, I still have these tiny little drawers in the bathroom. But at least now at some point we can remodel and
Yeah.
but at least it was good practice for dealing with the tiny little drawers that I would still end up in my little mini mansion here. So
How funny.
so it's just, but it is about making peace with the, and accepting the things that we have right now and being grateful for those things that we have right now. So
Well, it's well, two things. One that reminds me of what in The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, what he says,
mm,
if you're not happy with your place, make it look as good as possible.
yes.
Buy a
Yeah.
new
And he talks
rug,
about
put a
that with your
picture.
job and stuff too.
Yeah.
Like if you're not
Yeah.
happy with your job, you got to, there's still something there, for
Yeah.
you to work on.
Yeah. But the other thing, Victoria, it's really weird. I feel like I actually manifested the place that I'm living right now. And because I'll tell you, so I used to think about it, and I was like, okay, I want this, this big property. I called it a compound because it was this huge place. And I would think about it, and I would actually be going through this process of, okay, so it's got a fitness center, it's got a swimming pool, it's got a guest house, it's got all this stuff.
Wow.
And I'm out. And so I'm living in that area right now. So I'm out walking one day in the like, really, it's like living in a park right now. And I suddenly looked around. I was like, I am living in that place, but it's an apartment and there's other people here. I just don't want them here. You know, like there's all these other apartment buildings that were supposed to be my guest houses. You know, I've got the swimming pool. It's just
Yep.
other people can use. So it was kind of weird. Like, I mean, it really would be perfect for all these other people.
Right, but yeah, if there wasn't for all those other people.
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah.
it was really weird when I just realized, I'm like, I'm living on the compound, but how do we get these other people out of here? So I don't know how I could just, you know, I kind of missed that part of the whole thing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know, and we have to be, that's, I think one of the reasons why we want to be focused and specific and careful about the things that, that we're asking for, because so many times we actually do get exactly what we say that we want. And it is what we say that we want. It's just sometimes, you know, like we have to be even more specific,
Yeah.
you know, than we think we need to be.
Yeah, because, you know, even like the fact, because I remember on my compound, it had like a nice trail and it went by a lake, and I've got that. I have that. You know, so it's really kind of weird when I realized it. I was like, oh my goodness, I think this stuff might work.
It does. It does. And, you know, with this desire statement that you just created, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I see you, you know, packing up and moving, you know, if you do it, you know, you got to do it. You got to say the desire statement, the desire, intention, and gratitude statement 10 times a day. So you say it when you first wake up in the morning. You say it 8 times, you know, between when you wake up and when you go to bed. And then you say it again just as you're drifting off to sleep at night. So that would be like maybe right after you looked at your vision board and did your intention. And then you actually do your intention. So you know, it's whatever you wrote down that you were doing, you know, then you also do those things. So, so that's the desire, intention, and gratitude statement. So now you have one. And maybe the listeners have been following along. I hope you have been following along, listeners. If you have been following along and writing your own desire, intention, gratitude statement, then hey, send it to me in the email. I would love to know that somebody actually followed this technique and did it. And I would love to see it. I'll be happy to send you tweaks. I mean, if 25,000 people, you know, send it to me, I may not be able to get to everyone. But you know, please, you know, by all means, do send me a copy. So the question is, are you committed to your, how do you feel now that you have your own desire, intention, and gratitude statement?
I love it. You know, I really, you know, I got to tell you, it does help having somebody there kind of making you accountable to do it like right now. And then also just that realization that I could just put palm trees. I don't have to put, you know, it has to be a certain place. I can just put the palm trees, you know, or whatever else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'm going to close this out by also reading my desire, intention, and gratitude statement, you know, because I feel like the more people hear your desire, intention, gratitude statement, like we actually in our class, you know, everybody like reads it out loud to each other. And so when, and the other thing too, is when we say them, we don't just say, I'm so excited that I made the best decision ever to like we, you know, like take a deep breath, you know, you stand up tall and proud, you smile like you mean it. And, you know, so this is mine. I'm so excited that I made the best decision ever to hire my new and experienced developers to create my dream meditation app like Breathe and Aura, only better. It will be perfect in every way. It will be stunningly gorgeous, smooth running, well functioning with dazzling new features. My new app will attract millions of subscribers over the next few years. I expect only the best. I allow the flow of abundance to come to me naturally, easily, and effortlessly in divine timing. I practice visualizing my ideal result for 5 minutes, 2 times a day. I maintain a constant, consistent, positive attitude, a high vibration, and a detached state of mind by going out for nature walks every day and meditating every day. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to have attracted this new development team. I'm so grateful for the support of my loving husband, Steve, who like hears about this all the time. I'm so grateful for my ideas and my ability to create this amazing app. I'm so grateful for all my amazing subscribers who use and support my app. I'm so grateful for all my positive reviews and helpful feedback. The best is yet to come.
Well done. Nice.
So yeah, so that, that's my desire statement. I say that 10 times a day now. I mean, actually, I will be honest with you. There's not one day that I've actually said it 10 times in a day. Yesterday was the most, and it was probably like 8 or 9 times. And I just, and that's the thing. Like when I say it, it works. When I don't, it's just gonna be a delay. And, because it helps raise my vibration. It reminds me, it's like, oh yeah, I got to do this detached thing. And, and all of that, so it's the instructions manual to yourself, to the universe, and it will help you to achieve your goal.
And if nothing else, it's kind of fun. I mean, you get to get excited about, where things are going. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. What's the worst that can happen?
Right.
You get excited over nothing, and then you get to live your days feeling excited. It doesn't, you don't need a reason necessarily.
True. Yeah. I love it.
So cool. Well, thanks for, participating in this. Next week, we're going to be back we're going to talk, Jim and I are going to be talking about this whole visualization thing. And we're going to talk about different, steps and ways to visualize, why visualize, how visualization can, help you to, really empower your manifestations and your goals. And so please, I just want to thank the listeners for listening here to today's episode of the Power of Your Mind podcast. And be sure to leave a review for us. Reach out to me. Let me know how your desire statement's going. Reach out to me. Also, let me know, Jim, yes, no.
Yeah. 1-800-KEEP-JIM. Don't forget.
Right. Be sure to subscribe. Definitely download that HypnoCloud app for those 12 free amazing sessions, and go ahead and go to lawofattractionintensive.com, sign up because you're going to, meet me live and in person doing all this great work with you. And it is so much fun. You can manifest your dreams and goals. And I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much for listening.